Yeah. Yeah. Hello guys. If anyone joined newly to the session, so we have discussed about the last sessions. I will give brief introduction. So we have given the I have explained about the training. Then why database is required, what is data and what is information. Then about client and server architecture discussed, how the request is going to the database and how it will come to the back to the client. So what is data, what is database, and what database is using different sectors like banking, airlines, universities, telecommunications, finance, it's all the things. Then what is relational database management system, whether the SQL is same for all relational database management system. So now how data is storing into the RDBM. This one we have discussed. This is the way is storing. It is interrelation between each tables. So next is difference across the RDBMS. So there is no difference MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, MS SQL, NoSQL. All SQL is same for every technology. There are some slight difference in the syntax perspective, just a 3 to 4% syntax perspective. Next, about the user objects, introduction of SQL, then SQL commands. So here SQL commands we have already discussed. Before going to the SQL commands, we have discussed the data types. So and we have completed the DDL. So here one more command is there, or one more statement is rename. Rename. So this one data types. We have discussed what is built-in data types, what is user-defined data type, character data type, number data type, datetime data types, large object data types, long and raw data type. So types of SQL statements are SQL sublanguages or SQL commands. All are same guys. So without these five languages or five commands, subcommand, five commands, we cannot write a single statement in SQL. We cannot write a single statement in SQL or PLSQL. So we have completed the DDL. Let us start the DML today. So DDL we have discussed yesterday what is create, what is alter, what is drop, what is truncate, what is rename. So we have already completed. So let us start the DML. So before going to the DML, I just wanted to heads up one thing. So if anyone miss your last 4 days, 5 days sessions, you can ask me by end of the session. I will give you the links. You can go through those links, and we can have a backup if you required. If you required. So yesterday we have discussed drop and rename, right? So drop can work on column level and table level both. Column level we have to use alter plus drop. I mean drop we can use in column level as a subcommand or a keyword. In table level that is a direct command. So yesterday we have discussed the same way rename also. Same way rename also. So let us start the DML. DML is data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. There are five commands under the DML. In outside, everyone tell these three only. In outside, everyone tell these three only. That's not correct. There are five commands in DML. So, what is those are? Insert, update, delete, insert all, and merge. Insert all and merge. These two concepts, these two commands we can discuss in advanced concepts, because there it will be a more relevant to discuss on this. There it will be a more relevant to discuss on these commands. So why we use this data manipulation language? DML full form is a data manipulation language. So yesterday and day before yesterday, how we can create a table. So to create a table, what and all parameters we required, column required, table name required, and data type required, and size required. So we discussed about the how to create a table by using data types and size by using DDL commands. So now we will learn how to insert insert the data into a table. How to insert the data into a table. How to store the data into a table, or how to insert the data into a table, we can discuss today. So DML is a data manipulation language. It is used to store. It is used to store data. It is used to add, modify. Add and store, it's both same. Modify in the sense, if you require, you need to update it, and remove the data from your table. So DML is used to store and modify and remove the data into a table. Remove the data into a table. So there are 5 commands: insert, update, delete, insert all, merge. Insert all, merge. Merge. Okay. So first we will go one by one. One is insert. Insert is used to insert the data into a table or store the data into a table. So far we learn how to create a table. So I think last sessions also I told you our data insertion, but I told you, you just remember that insert command we can discuss in DML in more deeply. So now we can discuss about it. So update is used to modify or update or change the data in a table. So already data will be there in the existing table. So if your requirement is used to update the records or modify something in the records which are available, then we can use the update command. So delete is used to delete all rows or particular rows from a table. So if you required, you need to delete only 2 3 rows. So that's not possible with the truncate, right? Yesterday we have discussed. So that can be done by delete command. So by using delete, we can be delete all rows or particular rows from a table. These two we can discuss in the advanced concepts. Okay. Now insert. Yesterday we have seen just insertion command to how to insert the store the data. There are just we have seen yesterday only one method. So we can discuss about that method also. Now there are 3 methods to insert the data into a table. Store the data into insert the data into a table. So insert command is used to insert the data into a table, and there are 3 methods to insert the data. There are 3 methods to insert the data. So insert, this is the syntax, guys. Syntax is nothing but a rules how the database is developed. How the database is developed. If you take for example phone pay, so if you want to send the money to any customer or any your friends or anything, someone who are in the available in the phone pay, so you need to send them money. The way of rule they kept that product, phone pay product. Either you need to enter the name to detect whether he is valid customer for the phone pay, register customer for the phone pay, or either you need to enter the UPI code to whom you are sending the data. That is the two ways, right? Except that we can't send the data. Either we may use banking details, that is maybe it will be possible. So there are some rules, without that it cannot be detected by phone pay, right? The user details. The same way, the for DBMS also we have rules is implementing by using the syntaxes. We must have to follow this format only. Otherwise, database server or SQL server cannot understand that what transaction you are performing into the database. database. So by using insert command, it can understand that we are indicating the server by using insert command. We are inserting into the data, we are inserting data into a database, so that SQL server or SQL buffer can check the syntax, how the syntax is follows for the insert command, how the syntax is follows for the insert command based on the development perspective, like how the product has developed. So insert here, sorry, some type mistake, into table name. Insert into is a keyword, guys. Insert, it's SQL is a same English language if you observe. So insert into, where we are inserting table. So insert into table name. So wherever you can see this half bracket, this is a, in any programming language, that is called optional. That's either we have discussed multiple times in previous sessions. So it is a optional. That's your wish how many columns you need to mention or not. That's the reason I have used this bracket. I have used this bracket. This this is called parenthesis, or off we can call it parenthesis in our SQL terminology. So insert into a table name, list of columns is a not mandatory, then values. Then what values you are inserting? The values has be mentioned in the list of columns. The values in be mentioned in list of columns. Insert into table name, list of columns. Which columns you are? For example, there are 10 columns in a table, but you don't require to insert the all columns data. So only some specific columns you need to insert the data. Among 10, only 5 columns you need to insert. So by that time we can use this statement here. I mean, here we put in bracket list of columns. What and all columns you need to insert, those 5 columns we need to mention here. Then values for that columns. The list of values we have to mention here. Okay. Next, rules to be noted. While inserting, there are some rules that you should noted. I mean, you should read and you should remember that. So one is, character data and date values must be entered within a single quote. Must be entered within a single quote. So already we discussed character data or string data must be included within a single quote. For example, you are inserting Venki in character data type in varchar2 or char data type column. So you must be insert within a single quote. You must be mentioned. Then only Oracle server or SQL buffer or SQL server can understand that it is a string data type. Then only it will be treated by string data type. So why we need to mention the date values in the string format? So that will, date is some expression. When you mention the string format, it will be converted to the date format. The default date format is DDMONYY. DDMONYY. So the date values which you are inserting here, that is format sensitive. Format sensitive in the sense you must use same format. You must use same format. You must use same format. If you want to use some other format, we can discuss that one in the built-in functions. There are some conversion function, so you need to convert this, not this format, you need to convert some other format, like dd month is just a numeric format and 4 wise 2022 full form. So that is also we can do it. Those can be discussed in the functions concept. So I repeat, character data is a case sensitive. So you must need to use a within single quote. Then only SQL server or buffer can understand that it's a character data or string data. And date values must be within the single quote only. Then only this called as a one expression. Then date will converted into the in date format. So the format is a for date is a format sensitive. You must need to follow the same format. So character data is a case sensitive. I already explained about that. Next, moving to the next slide. So data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. So DML, right? So I said three types for insert the data. Three type insert the data. Three methods. First method one, inserting data into all columns. Yesterday we have discussed about this. Insert the data into all columns. Yesterday we have discussed. So let us create a table now. Let us create a table. So I am entering my user details. That is called my schema. Connecting it. Set. If for example, select star from EMP. You observe, see, these all are the column names. This is the data. So the columns, it is not coming into the same line. It came to the second line because of the line size is less, and this is called page size down. Down is the page size. For down is the page size. So page size also only 3 rows coming. So I don't want, it's very difficult to understand, right? If we go like this, that's the reason we have two commands to set that one. Set line 200 size, I am increasing line size. This is called line size. Set page size. Page is down. How many rows? Page size is 200. Now you can execute the same command. Select star from EMP. See, now you can see. So you can understand clearly right now. Okay. Let us create a table. Create. So we have already discussed, guys. If anyone new, go to the previous sessions. Then you can ask me. So create, I will explain you one more time. What is the syntax for create table? Create is a DDML command to create a table. So create is a command. So what we are creating? We are creating a table. So you have to mention the table. Table is a keyword. Table. Next to table name. Table name I am taking VTS or else student underscore VTS. Student underscore VTS. Or else just I will give maybe the table name already available. Let me do one thing. Drop table student underscore VTS. So create table. Table name is student table underscore VTS. That is the table name. So after table name, You need to open the parenthesis. Then column names you have to write it. So I am taking column name. I am taking the SID, student ID. What is the ID? Is a string data or numeric data? ID is a numeric data. So numeric data is handled by the number data type. So for number data type. So how much size number data type? By default, the maximum size it will allow 38 digits. So like for example 10, ID is the 10, that is 2 digits, and that is the 2 bytes as well. So the maximum size of SID is numeric data. It can be taken 38 bytes or 38 digits. I am taking just some 4. Next, next, student first name last name. Student first name last name. So first name is F name. So the character data or string data can be handled by varchar2 data type that we have discussed in the data types class. You can go through it if you not understand it. So I am taking some 10. So day before, I think first day, second day of the class, this one we have discussed. Next, next is last name. Last name also string data type, that is varchar2 data type size. Next is date of birth. Date of birth. What is the date of birth, guys? Date data type. Date data type. So what we have to declare? We have to declare the date data type because you are inserting the date. So for date, you no need to declare any size for this. You no need to declare any size for this. Next, date of join. Date of join. Date of join also date data type. Okay. Next, fee. Next, fee. Fee, what is numeric data? So number. So for example, some 10,000 10,000 is there. So we can take it as a sum 7. So after declaring all columns, you must to close the parenthesis. That is the table creation. So we how to describe the table, what and all table columns we use. There is a command called the description, then VTS. Describe the table name. So now you can see SID, student ID is an embedded. Whatever we have declared here, so the structure it will show. To see the structure of a table name, then you have to use the describe command. What and all columns they have used. So for example, you have newly joined, you doesn't know previously which tables, what and all columns they have used for the table, then you can use C by using this describe command. So now insertion, first method, insert the all columns of the data. Insert the all columns of the data. So now insert command. Into is a keyword. Then table name. What is a table? Student VTS. Next, values. So to insert all columns, this is the syntax. Insert into table name, values, then list of values. Then this is the called delimiter. You have to give to execute the command. If you observe here, we are not using list of columns. Why we are not using list of columns? We are inserting the data for all columns which are declared by the which are declared when we create a table. So we are inserting the data into all columns, the columns which are available in the table. So that's list of columns. This class is when required, when you are when you are inserting the some specific columns. For example, here we have declared 1, 2, 3, these 6 columns. But I need to insert only student ID, first name, and date of birth and date of join. For last name and fee, I doesn't required. By the time we need to specify the class. That's the reason this list of class is required. That is next method we can discuss. First method is inserting data into all columns. Okay, this is the syntax: insert into table name, values, and list of values. So now insert into table name, then values. This is the syntax, guys. See, this is the syntax. Then values for those columns. First, what is the value? Student ID. So let me take as 1001. Then next, first name. First name is just, I will take some Naveen or else Rama. So why I have to declare this single inverted commas within the, why I have to declare the data within this single quote? Because it is a string data. When you are inserting the string data or character data, you must use the single inverted comma. Next, last name, that is also character string data. Last name is just I have given some, okay. Next, date of join. Date of join, for example, he joined on 1st May. 1st May. 1st May is first and May is 96. 1 1 May, then 96. Next, date of the birth, right? Date of birth is some 92 you can take. So he joined on 1st May 2022. Next column is what? Fee. What is fee? For example, you can take 2000. So number data you doesn't require to put the single letter commas. So next is delimiter. So what is the data, guys? Why it is raising error? See, column not allowed here. So where it is showing error, when it is indicate star, you should understand that error is here. Column is not allowing this data. Why? What is the error, guys? Why it is not allowing? So we have taken six.
We have to insert in single quotes because it is a date value.
Yes. So the date values must be used within the single quote. Date and character data or string data must be insert the within the single quote. So now you can mention the single quote.
DOB also we have to mention single quotes, but it is not showing a error message.
Yeah, very good. So I will tell you. Now see, the error is showing here. Please go on mute. The error is showing here, right? Now I will change only this one. Let's see. Now where error is showing? DOB, right? Why it is showing now DOB? See, now I will do one thing. Now I will put inverted commas to the DOB. Now I will remove for this king. You have to tell me why it is coming one by one. Now you can see DOB not showing. Why it is showing king? So the buffer, the SQL buffer, SQL server, how we execute the statement from right to left, it will execute from right to left. For example, here king, I will see king is having not inverted commas and Rama is also not having inverted commas, but date of join also not having inverted commas. See, for as per you, it has to raise all these three. It has to raise the error, all these three columns. Where it is raising? Date of join it is raising. Whether it is raising first name and last name? No. Why? The server will check the data from right to left. The execution of a Oracle server or SQL server or SQL buffer, SQL server, from right to left it will execute. So it will check the from right onwards to the left. If it is not, while it is checking if everything is good, then it will insert the data. Now you can see. If I put this one, see, it will raise in the king. Now I put both. Clear? Clear your doubt?
Yes, sir.
See now,
From right.
right to left. This is the right from left. Please go on if you are not speaking. See now, one row is inserted. So the terminology wise, I think some people join today just to explain you. If you call it as a row, if we call it as tuple, if you call it as record, everything is the same. If you call it as attribute, if we call it as a column, both are same. If you call it as a table, entity, object, everything is the same. So now it is inserted one row. So we can call it as one record also. So let us insert one more row. 2000 Next is Venky. Date of join is May. P is same. See, two rows inserted. Now check the data. How to read the data from a database. So we can discuss this one in the DQL or DRL. There is a command called select. Select in the sense, if you listen again. To read the data, to fetch the data, to retrieve the data, all are same terminology wise. To read the data, to fetch the data, to retrieve the data. Fetch in the read in the sense we are reading the data from database. Fetch the data from database. Retrieve the data from database. These all are the three terminologies we can use in real time. If you tell anything, that is called, you have to use the select command. To read the data means we have inserted the two rows into the database. I wanted to check the data from a table. I need to retrieve the data from the table. I need to fetch the data from the table. So the syntax called select statement command is there. Select star from student underscore VTS. Okay, now you can see the data. See, we have inserted the two rows. SCR is the to remove all the screen whatever is there. Now everything is removed. See the date.
Venkat, I have a question.
Yeah.
In real time, in a database, we have like multiple rows, which means it could be like hundreds of rows.
Yes.
So, in that context, we need to insert as per the requirement? For example, if we have 100 rows, should we insert 100 times, like insert into
No.
values?
No. I will let you know one thing.
Okay, there is insert all command. Okay.
No. I will tell you many things are there. For insertion,
Okay.
for now everything is the automated. For example, if you take the banking sector,
Okay.
we discussed already. There is a transaction table. See, for account creation, per day maximum 5 or 10 or 15 for branch wise. So there is a separate account holder. That guy can be insert the details into the UI perspective. Then automatically it will store in the database by using some procedures. Okay. For transaction table, for example, if you go on the ATM, if you taken some amount into the database, some amount into the your account, the account will be withdrawal and it should be updated into the your account section. Am I right? So that record, is it, for example, you are taking Hyderabad, some people is taking from North India, some people is taking from Pune or Maharashtra or Telangana and AP, Chennai, Bangalore. Is it possible to insert, go and stay there and check who is taking the money and insertion? No, right? So that is, everything is automated. So automatically, through some procedures, in mode parameter, out mode parameter, that can be discussed in the PL SQL concept. So automatically, through some programs, we can put it the we can develop some programs. When user has withdrawn the amount, the details of user, ATM ID, where he has withdrawn, account section, and the name of the account holder, then amount withdrawal and the date of the withdrawal, date and time it will take, withdrawal of. These details automatically come and store into the transaction table. By using some programs, we can develop that mechanism. So now everything is the
One thing,
automated.
sir.
Now everything is the automated. For example, in this case, for instance, there is a some text file or an Excel file, some CSV file you have received from customer, having some 2000 records or 3000 records, and insert the data. Insert the data. It's very difficult, right, to insert each row. So that is the reason we have a concept called SQL loader. SQL loader. So that can be discussed in the last class. SQL loader. This is SQL loader is a concept to insert the all records at a time. How the SQL server architecture is the part of the DBMS database, DBMS architecture. There are bat file, syntax file, CSV files will receive. If you receive, for instance, how to deal, we can discuss as a developer in SQL loader. Okay?
And I have one more question. I mean, we already discussed DDL commands,
Yeah.
where we use like alter command.
Yes.
So, and for example, if you take any bank, there are so many customers
Yeah.
who do have like some data.
Yeah.
Like when they open an account,
Yeah.
they just provide all the details like first name, last name, address, and their phone number.
Yeah.
So sometimes they work in a different place and they get transferred and they get a new address and they want to update in the bank about
Yeah.
their address.
Yeah.
So in that case, the bank people would like to get the address changed as per the customer's request.
Yeah.
So that means in the back end, as an orchid developer, we do take care of those changes, right?
Yes. But
And
see, for,
yeah,
for,
and
for,
yeah,
for them, always it's a UI. They will get only like these fields. So we have
yes,
seen, right, online SBI, how the fields are there.
yes,
So the same
yes,
way for address change, they will get some fields, old address and new address. So they
okay,
will be
they can
entered in
update.
the new address. For that, in backend, we write some programs, some procedure, these all things, so that the Java developer will take care of this UI. He has to take care
Yes,
of that, how it has to connected with our programs. So we just to develop the programs based on the requirement and we will give it to them. They will take care of the link. I mean, how to they have link that program to the UI. So once he
yeah, I mean,
entered,
like, yeah, uh, Venkat,
yeah,
I'm sorry for the interference. The application is developed by either Java developers or .NET
yes,
developers,
yes,
but whoever
yeah,
they develop the UI and also in the backend database is connected.
hmm,
So in the database, whatever the UI, the data entered in the UI will get stored in the database in the backend. That
hmm,
is like a regular process. We know, and there are whatever the changes that are made again will be updated in the database.
yeah,
But in this context, like when the customer, I mean, like there is also an option in the front end where the user can, I mean the end user can, or the customer can log into the application and change his address. So in that case it will get updated automatically in the backend, but that is as per the Java developers
No, no, no.
development.
No, that is not based on the development. They just insert the data, whatever the new address. So the
Yes.
backend how it will follows. We have some set of programs to handle that. So we have to develop
Okay.
the programs. We just to develop the programs and we give that program name. They will use in their code while they are developing into
Okay.
the UI. Once the user enter the
Okay.
details, it will automatically update it into the
Okay.
backend. Clear?
Oh, okay, so that means Oracle developers will work in collaboration with the Java developers,
No, no,
and accordingly, his
no.
application will be developed
Yes,
to
yes.
help out the
See,
customer.
there are new features also that will come. So they have to put some here. How do I do? One more checkbox. Once they click this one, the information has to come. Where it will come this information? If you click this one, the information is come from the backend only, from database perspective, backend only. So they will check we need this requirement. So for the requirement how you will receive from the customer. Once you require the requirement, you have to analyze what is the database related, what is the UI related. Based on that, the scrum master will segregate the work and assign to the front end related to the front end guy, back end related to the back end guy. That we can discuss in the this one project related discussion. Okay.
Yeah. So, and just final question. Just I think
See, I
that it's
can
a
take it up this
clarification.
question. See, class is disturbing. We can discuss in the last
Okay.
10 minutes. Okay.
Right.
So this otherwise people
Okay.
may get
Right. Right.
confused here what I am discussing here. See here. See now we have inserted by using all columns, right? So inserting data into a all columns. First method. So in this case, values should be provided to all columns that exist inside a table. So that means, for example, so we are inserting the all columns, right? So I remove this column. So here I am providing the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns data. But how many columns we have, guys? 6 columns. When you are inserting the data for all columns, so you are not mentioned any specific columns here. All columns, the values should be also 6 values because we are inserting the data for 6 columns. But when you put 5 columns, it will raise error, not enough values. Because this table requirement is when you are inserting the data, the table is having 6 columns, but you are providing the data only 5 columns data. So that's the reason values are not enough, this will raise. So you must remember that when you are inserting the data for all columns, you must specify the data according to the columns declaration. If it is 5 values, then 5 columns, then 5 values. If it is 6 values, then 6 values you have to insert. Okay. Next, one more thing you have to remember: the order of the values. For example, you may tell me now, so you are telling that you need to insert the 6 values must. So I will put like this is the 6 values and the column is having 6 values, but ordered I change. First sid okay, first name is okay, last name is okay, date of birth is okay. Next to date of join has to come. But what we have mentioned, numeric data for the date of column place. In fee column we mention the date value. So is it take? See, does it take? No. Why means inconsistent data types. Except expected the date, but got number. It is expecting the date. It is expecting the date, but we enter the number because the fifth column is date data type. That is the reason raising the inconsistent data types. So the fifth column is required the date data type, but here we mention the number. Clear? So in this case, what you understood, the order of the columns, based on the order of the columns, you need to provide the values while you are inserting it. You must have to follow the order of the column. The same way you have to insert the details, you have to provide it. That is the two statements you have to remember. First statements, not enough values. The based on the columns which are available in the table, you must have to provide the same values. 6 values means 6 values, or 5 values means 5 values, while you are inserting the all columns, not specific columns. The same way here, order of the columns, data types, I mean columns, it's the same way you have to follow it. Here it is a date data type, here you mention the number date type. That's the reason inconsistent date types. Okay, next, this is the inserting all columns into the database. You should remember these 2 points. Next, inserting data into required columns. I said, right, list of columns you have to mention what under columns you required. The syntax is very simple. Here you just come the here you just to declare the what under list of columns here you need to mention. Here, see, insert into table name, the list of columns you have to declare it, then values for this columns. For example, now now this is the data. So these are the 6 columns. My requirement is I just need to mention the details, insert the details for these 2 columns and this 1 column. Within that 6, I need only 3 columns to enter the data. Insert into table name. What is the table name? Student VTS is the student name, uh, table name. Here you need to declare the list of columns. What are the list of columns? I need to insert the data for SID and F name and just date of join and fee. How many columns I am inserting the data? For only 4 columns. Now values. Now values. So the values which you are mentioning here, it's not depending on this table and table order. It doesn't check this table and table order. It's depending on the columns which you mentioned here and the order of the columns which you mentioned here. It's depending on that. Okay, so SID is 1002. F name I take just as some gamma. Date of join I just take sysdate. That I will tell you what is that function. Fee is some 3000. Okay, so the order of the insertion should be followed by this order, because the data type issue will come and you have to mention the values based on these columns. Here 4 columns I mentioned, the list of columns, 4 values I am providing. Now my question is, check whether the data insert or not. It's inserted. Whether it is inserted or not. Inserted. My question is, what about these remaining columns? These 2 columns. What data it will get insert here? Any idea?
Null values.
Null values it will insert. See. You may ask me why it hasn't raised your issue. Even you are providing 4 values, because you are inserting the data by using the list of columns. By the time Oracle server only check these columns and check this data order, whether it is follow same order or not. Then it will insert the remaining columns. The SQL buffer, SQL server will insert the null values. Null is nothing but is nothing, guys. It's kind of blank. Okay, so now if you observe here, in place of date of join, sysdate, what is the system date today? Sysdate is a function which will return system date and time. System date, time. See here, only system date. What is the system date today? 4th May. See, select sysdate from dual. So DL is a table. We can discuss DL in the when we are dealing with the null values. Here, see if you observe, it just return the system date. Sysdate is a date function. We can discuss again in the functions, built-in functions. Here, built-in functions we can discuss. Here, date functions we can discuss. So sysdate is a date function which returns current date and time. So here, why it is taking only date, guys? It will return date and time, right? Why it has taken only date? Any idea? Because we have declared for date of birth only date data type, not timestamp data type. If you declare timestamp data type, then it will take both date and time. So now we knew that how to insert the data for all columns, how to insert the data for required columns. So here in this case, in order the order of values declared in the insert need not to the same of the original table order. That's what I said right here. So it's not mandatory to mention the original order. Original order is first name, after that last name. But here we have used date of birth. So that's not mandatory to follow the original order. The list of values class should be match with the insert list. So these values should be match with this insert list, because it doesn't depending on this table, it's depending on only these values, because we are telling that server I need to insert the data for these columns and you have to enter the values for these columns only. Next, the columns not supplied with the data are, here we are not supplying the data for these two columns, right? So it will insert the null values until not null constraint is declared. So we can discuss what is the not null constraint in the constraint concept. Here, integrity constraint concept. Here, not null constraint. Okay. Next is inserting null values. Here, inserting null values into a table. So now we have insert the table null values, right? To insert, we have inserted. That is called implicit null values. So if you see, null is represent information that is not available. So null is here what indicate that there is no data, it's a blank. So null is nothing but a unknown value or undefined value. Every null is different to every value. So null is not equal to null, guys. Null is not equal to null. You don't think is that every null is equal to null. No, every null is a different value, an undefined value or unknown value. Okay, it's not equal to 0. It's not equal to 0 or blank. It's not equal to 0 or blank. It's not equal to 0 or blank. So null is how we can represent with the null keyword. See, for example, you have to insert the data. You have to insert the null value here. Either you need to omit this column, omit in the sense you need to ignore here, or else you can put null keyword also. See, if you put null keyword, you can see the data. See here, previously three rows, now 4 rows. See here, null is inserted. Here I have omitted these 2 columns in the list. So by default null is inserted. Even I need to enter the null for fee column. So I have mentioned that column, I need to enter the null value. So by using null keyword, we can insert the null value here. See, clear? So null is a keyword which is represent to the data not available. Here data is not available. So null is a unknown value or undefined value. We cannot define that is how much. Here, see, for example, if you take 3000, we can define that gamma 1002 student gamma is paid the 3000 rupees. But can we define here how much the fee? No, we can't estimate the value. That is the undefined value or unknown value, and it cannot equal to the 0 or blank space. So null is not allowed. Arithmetic or relational operators are nulls, because for example, select null into 100. We can discuss more into the arithmetic operations from real. See, null is 10 is a value, right? But when you use the arithmetic operation, arithmetic in the sense this all like multiplication, addition, subtraction, subtract, everything is the arithmetic operation. Dividend, divisor, everything. So when you multiply with the null, it will return null only. When you subtract with null, it will return null only. So that's the reason null is not allowed to use any arithmetic or relational operators, because if you perform also it will return null only. See, even if you perform subtract minus 10, see, it's perform null only. Clear? We are not allowed to use the any arithmetic or relational operators. We can discuss in more in arithmetic and relational operators. In next section here it will come. See here, arithmetic operators, comparison operator or relational operators. We can discuss here. Okay. So now, so the values of null insert can be two ways. One is implicit and is explicit. Implicit is nothing but when you ignore the column or when you omit the columns. So here you haven't mentioned these 2 columns. You have ignored, you have omitted. So by that time, Oracle server or SQL server, it will automatically insert the null values. That is called implicit insertion, because implicit is nothing but that own self it is inserting. We are not giving explicitly. So that is called implicit insertion. Next, another way is explicit insertion. Explicit in the sense we are explicitly indicating that I need to insert the null value there. Here do we indicate to the SQL buffer or server to insert the null value? No, right? We just ignore the columns. It's automatically inserted. Here we indicated the server by using null keyword. Explicitly we are indicating I need to insert the null value in the fee column. Here it's inserted. This is called Explicit insertion. See, implicit in the sense omit the columns. Omit in the sense ignore from list. Here this is the list. We just ignored. We have omitted. Then Oracle server, SQL server supplies the null values. That is called implicit insertion. Implicit insertion. Because we haven't provided any indication to the server insert the null value. Automatically it has taken. So when you specify the null keyword, that is called explicit insertion. We have indicated the server, I need to insert the null value here. That is called explicit insertion. So null values can be inserted into two ways, guys. One is implicit insertion, another one is the explicit insertion. See, for example, now you can observe, I will insert all values. See, I haven't here I have ignored, then automatically Oracle supplies the null values. Here insert into student. So I'm inserting for all columns, guys, not list of columns. By the time, so if you want to insert here null values, for example 1003 name, for name I have to insert null value. First name, last name is some some name, some Sandeep. Okay, date of birth I will give some inverted commas. Date of birth 01 May 90. Next, date of join I need to insert null. Fees I need to insert 3000 or as 4000. See, now I haven't ignored the columns. 3, see, total 6 columns. According to the 6 columns, I have provided the 6 values and I have followed the same order for these columns. I have followed the same order as well. So here I am not inserting to the list of columns. I am taking the all columns. Still I need to insert the null values. See, by using explicitly null keyword, I will insert it. See, first name I have taken null. Date of join I have taken null. Fee is this one. This is called explicit null insertion. By using null keyword, we can insert the null values explicitly. If you mention list of columns, then if you ignore the columns, that is implicit null insertion. The implicit null who will handle? Oracle server itself, SQL server itself, it will insert the null values. Clear? Insert into C. See, student name, okay, F name Queen, last name null, date of join null, fee is null. Okay, next, third method is using substitutional variable. So first one we knew list, insert the all columns values. All columns. Next one is whatever columns you require, that columns only. Next one is using substitutional operator. There are two types of substitutional operators. One is single ampersand, another one is the double ampersand. This is called variables, guys. This is called variables. By using substitutional variables, we can store the values. This substitutional variables store the values temporarily, guys, not permanently. Okay, by using substitutional variable, we can insert the data. Insert the data into a table. There are two types. One is the single ampersand, another one is the double ampersand. It's simple. See, insert into table name and values. You just need to use the substitutional variable. See, substitutional column name variable 1, substitutional variable 2, and so on. How many columns the same. If you want to use double ampersand, you can use the double ampersand. See how it will, the command to how it will, for example, insert into table name guys, student underscore VTS, next to values, the student ID. So what I will put, that's your wish guys, what you need to mention here. If you mention for example SS, it will display SS. If you mention S number, it will display S number. So for understanding purpose, I just use S number. S number is the student ID. Next to first name, I will put just FN first name. Next I will put LN. Next I will put date of birth, ampersand of DOB. For understanding purpose, that's your wish what you need to use here. Next date of join. Next single ampersand of P. So just execute this command. See, previously when you insert the values, it directly inserted the values into a table. Values into a table. So when you use the substitutional variables, once you executed, the server will ask the values for us based on the substitutional variable. Here you mention the single variable. So here what is it is indicating, enter value for S and O. Here if you put triple S, it will mention triple S here. If you mention SN O, so it is indicating, asking us enter the values. So SN is a number data type. I will put 1004. Next see, once you give the enter, then it will ask for this value. FN is the string data type. So I will use some Dev. So we have to insert the within single quote only. So again enter. If we enter, again it will ask what is LN, last name. So I need to insert the null value here. Null. What is date of birth? Date of birth also I need to give null. Date of join also I need to give null. Fee. Fee is 1000. Next to give enter. See, it will, based on insertion, server will take from you to insert. See, first old. Old means whatever, this one is the old. New, automatically it has taken. Based on the values you inserted, automatically it has taken. Then it will insert the data. If you want to ask the values while runtime, then you have to use the substitutional variables. Substitutional variables. Now you can check the data. Start from student underscore VTS. From keyword, I may see, from keyword I mention I have this one. Star from. See, 1000 they've inserted, remaining all null, fee is 1000. This is the way we can use the single ampersand variable, substitutional variable. For example, if you use double ampersand, same thing, use a double ampersand. Or else wait. Same again I am doing. See, it is asking for values or not. Single ampersand. For every time it is asking or not, guys. Whenever you use the single ampersand, the SQL prompt is asking for us to enter the values. Okay. Next, remember that point. SQL prompt is dynamically asking. SQL prompt is asking for the values for dynamically. నువ్వు బయటికి తీసుకోమో లేకపోతారు ఆ రూమ్లోకి తీసుకోబో, వీడికి వచ్చిన నుంచి మాట్లాడుతూనే ఉండరు.
టాబ్లెట్ కావాలంటే సాయంత్రం వేసుకున్నట్టు ఇప్పుడు వేసుకుంటున్నాడు.
Now if I put double ampersand, see, it is asking for 5 2005. Observe guys, I just put null, null, null. See, based on the insertion guys, if you are inserting the string data, you need to put inverted commas. Remember that. So fee is also null, I will put. See, observe here. One row is inserted with the 1005. Select star from VTSC 1005. For example, observe here, when I mention the single ampersand, it is asking dynamically for every time. For example, double ampersand, first time I have given some values. Second time, the double ampersand, second time, is it prompting the for values, guys? Is it prompting or it has taken automatically? For example, if we use the single ampersand, if we use the single ampersand, it has to ask for the values. If we use the single ampersand, it is asking for the values. Single ampersand. Observe here. It is asking for values. Single ampersand. But when it is comes to double ampersand, it is not dynamic value, guys. Automatically, it will insert the 1005 values. First time whatever it will you will give the values, it's a save the, that is the reason it accept the static values. For every time it will insert the same values, it cannot ask every time. See, observe the data. If you insert select star from student underscore VTS, see, every time it has taken same values. For example, if it is single ampersand, it will accept the dynamically values. Whenever you use the single ampersand variable insertion, it will prompt for you to insert the data. It will prompt, see, it will prompt. Prompt in the sense you can able to enter the new values. You can able to enter the new values. That's the reason I mentioned the single ampersand accept the dynamic values. For every time when you execute the single ampersand command like this, when you execute it, it will ask for values and you have it will be insert. If you execute again, it will ask for new values. You can able to enter the new values. So dynamically it will accept the dynamic values. Whereas in double ampersand, it will ask values. When you enter the values, it will insert. When you execute next time, it cannot ask you values again. It will insert the same values. So that's the reason it accept the static value. Static value. Clear guys? Don't get confused. Practice one time you will get understand. If you put single ampersand, whenever you execute this command statement, every time it will ask for new values. Whereas in double ampersand, it cannot accept the new values. One time only it will ask for the values. For every time whenever you execute this command, it will insert the same values again and again like this. Okay, to execute any command we have a statement called run or this one. For example, select star from EMP. So I just executed. I haven't given delimiter. So I can give like this forward slash. Then it will execute this command. To run, it will run this command. For example, I have given. I will give run. See, if I give run, it executed the previous command. If you give run, it will execute the previous command. You no need to give again this one. See, you no need to declare the statement here. Just to give run, it will execute it. Or else give forward slash, it will execute. Clear, guys? So because of doubts, its session is extended, guys. Please don't mind it. So it's become 1 hour 15 minutes. So these all are the ways to insert the data. So substitutional variable we never use in real time. So rarely we can use these two methods, guys. We will use these two methods, method 1 and method 2. Can i can i take just 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or we can complete today, we can continue tomorrow? That's your wish, guys. Shall we stop the class, or can I take 10 to 15 minutes? Continue. Others, guys. Anyone is having any problem to continue, like if you have any, if you want to go another classes, or do you want me to continue? Please confirm, guys. If anyone is having any problem, just tell here in chat. Sir, please end for today, like this. If not, then I will go ahead. Shall I go ahead, guys? Yes, please. Yeah. Okay. Next is update command. Please go on with update command. Update is used to modify or update the records in a table, existing table. For example, here select star from student underscore VTS. VTS, right? Now I need to change wherever to wherever 1005, I need to change it to 1006. The syntax of update statement is update table name, then set, then column name, then new value, for which column you are inserting new value. Where 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 is indicating that where from where I have to update this new value. From where I have to update this new value. Where you have to update the column name, then old value. What is old value? What is old value? Clear, guys? Update table name, set is a keyword, column name, for which column you are inserting the new value, and where you are updating that record, in which column you are updating. So where the column which you are updating, and put the old value. It will search for the old value, then it will insert the new value. See now, for example, select star from EMP. Okay? Wherever 3000 is there, wherever 3000, so 3 times is there, right? I need to update it to 4000. I need to update it to 4000. Update. Where I am updating? I am updating in the EMP table. Set is a keyword. Next, from which column you are updating the new values, guys? For which column here? Salary column you are updating. So mention the salary. The new value, what is new value? You are updating 4000. Where you need to update 4000, you have to mention the where you are updating in the salary column only. In salary column, wherever 3000 is there I am updating 4000. So wherever 3000 means 3000 you have to mention. Clear? So it will search wherever salary is 3000, there it will update 4000. See, 3 rows updated. That means when it is searched 3000, it found 3 rows. How it will search, you know? How it will search? Oracle server, SQL server. How it will search? It will search like this. First, salary column. First row. Where? You mention the where salary means first row it will put 800 equal to 3000. Condition true or false, guys? Where 800 equal to 3000. Salary you mentioned right here. Salary you mentioned here. Here you mention the salary. So it will replace each value. It will replace each value. It will replace each value. Where salary equal to 3000. Salary how much? First row 800 equal to 3000. Condition true or false? Tell me, guys. 800 equal to
False.
false. So first row is false. Next, 1600 equal to 3000. So you may ask me why it will take 800 1600. Here you mention the salary column. Okay, 1600 equal to 3000, false. 1250 equal to 3000, false. False, false, false. 3000 equal to 3000, true. False, 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 true. False, 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 false. Null equal to 3000, false. 3000 equal to 3000, true. How many true conditions, guys? Total?
Two.
Three. Three. 1, 2, 3.
If you want to update particular row, then
Wait. Tell.
we can
Here,
mention different.
how many rows is updated? 3 rows. That's the reason it mentioned 3 rows. For example, wherever Smith is there, you need to replace it Venky. Update. What you are updating? You are updating in the EMP table. So set is a keyword. For which column you are updating? Ename column. Ename column. So what is the new value? New value is the Winky. So it is a string data type. You must mention ename column is the string data type or varchar2 data type. So you must need to mention the single quote. Then where you are updating this new value? Where you are updating in ename column. Where you are updating, wherever Smith is there, it has to update Winky. Take Smith. See how many rows updated? Because you check here. You check Smith is only one record, no other Smith is there. For example, wherever Rama, you need to update it as Gamma. Update emp set ename equal to. So the new value is Gamma. Where you need to update? Where you need to update means where you have to put. In ename column you need to update. In which value place you need to update? Gamma, old value is Rama. How many rows it will come? 2 rows. Why 2 rows? Ramas is there 2. How it will search, you know, right? The server, how it will search. How it will search? Here. Where ename equal to Rama. What is ename? What is e name? First Smith equal to Rama. Smith equal to Rama. Condition true or false?
False.
Sorry, not Smith. Smith equal to Gamma. False. Here. Yeah, Smith equal to Rama. Next, Alan equal to Rama. False. 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 Rama equal to Rama. True. Rama equal to Rama. True. So when it is true, next values also it will check, guys. Whole rows, how many records are there? Total record, that many times it will check. So total 18 rows is there. The server check for every 18 rows. Total 18 rows it will check. How it will check? Record by record it will check. Clear? That is the update statement. Clear, guys? Update statement is clear. Next, move to the delete. Delete is used to delete all rows or particular rows from a table. For example, if you want to delete all rows, you no need to mention the where condition. Where condition is nothing but to indicate the particular rows. Here you are indicating the particular rows in update statement. You are indicating the particular rows is in Smith place it has to update. Okay, to delete all rows you no need to mention the where clause. To delete particular rows you need to mention the where condition. For example, see, select star from student underscore vts. These all are the rows. I need to delete these all rows, or else I need to delete wherever 1005. I need to delete that one. The syntax of delete is delete from where you are deleting the table name. From vts under student underscore vts table I am deleting. Delete from table name. Table name is vts underscore here, this one. Delete from table name. Where you need to delete? Wherever 1005 is there you need to delete. So sid equal to 1005. So here I need to delete some particular rows. See, observe. How many rows is deleted? 5 rows. Because it will check each row. 1001 equal to 1005. False, 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 false. True, true. It will delete. True, delete. True, delete. True, delete. True, delete. 5 rows. You can check the data now. See, 6 rows only. Previous 11 rows. After deleting 5 rows, 6 rows is there. Clear? If you want to delete whole data, you no need to mention the delete command. Delete from where you are deleting student underscore vts. If you need to delete all records, ignore the where condition. See, total 6 rows is there. 6 rows is updated. Now you can check the data. Select star from student underscore vts. To read the data, we have to use this one. See, no rows selected. Here, select is a command to retrieve the data. Star is indicate all columns, guys. From where you have to fetch the data. Student table, I need to fetch the data. So if you ignore the star, you need to declare like this: e name, emp number, job, salary from emp. So if you want, star is indicate all columns from this table. If you need specific columns from the table, you need to declare those columns only. See, emp table, now you can see select star from emp. See, these many columns is there, but I just need only these columns. So I just need to retrieve the data or select the data from this table, these columns only. So by that time you can mention specific columns. If you mention star, it will give whole columns data. If you mention specific columns, it will give specific columns data. Clear, right? Delete. If you want to delete particular records, then you need to mention the where condition. If you need to delete all records, then you no need to mention the where condition. Directly you can give delete from is a keyword table name. Delete from table name. Clear? Now I have deleted everything. So I said, right, all DDL commands are not implicit commit. All DML commands are not implicit commit. All DDL commands are implicit commit. So here I have deleted, right? I have deleted 6 rows. So if I give rollback, rollback is a command to get the data back. Now you can see the data. Oh, we have used this command. See, for example, select star from EMP. So I have deleted 1001 employee. How we have to delete? Delete from EMP table where EMP number equal to 1001. Wherever EMP number 1001, it has to delete. So 2 rows deleted, right? Now you can check the data. See, so 18 rows are there. 1001, 1001 Sam. So 1001 RAM deleted, 1001 SAM deleted. So 16 rows were there. After delete 2 rows. But my requirement is now I need to get the data back, which is deleted. So you need to use the rollback command. See, rollback is command to use the is used to get the data back again. Now you can see again 18 rows. See, it came 1001 Rama, 1001 Gamma. Previously, it was not there. See, after rollback, it came again. Clear? So, this is the proof it is not implicit commit. So, all DML commands are not implicit commit. So, if you want to commit the data, see, delete from EMP. So, 2 rows deleted again. Select the data. So after deleted 2 rows, here it has deleted. Now I need to, from here onward, the data should be this one only. So I need to commit the data. By using commit command, we can commit the data. We are permanently, commit is used to store the data permanently. Here we are permanently saving this data now. After deleting, I don't need to get the data back again. So to use commit, then it will get, even if we use rollback now, after commit the data, see, rollback completed. You can't get the data, see, 16 rows only. Even you use the rollback. Because when you use the commit, all above transactions are whatever you used, those will be permanently stored. Permanently stored. It will commit the transaction to the database. So this is one transaction, 2 rows deleted one. So it will commit it to the database, permanently delete these 2 rows and save this data only when you give the commit. Even after commit you use the rollback also, you cannot get the data back again. Clear, right? That is the proof. So all DDL commands are implicit commit, all DML commands are not implicit commit. For example, same thing, delete from EMP where EMP number equal to 1002. How many records is deleted, guys? One row. Where is 1002 here? Total 16 records. Now you can see, select R from EMP, 15 records only. So now I don't use commit command. I just use create table. Table name is from APB, April batch. Just I will give student name, student ID, number data type, or else I will take just integer data type. So it's already there. Table name is already there. So just API will give. See, table is created, right? Table is created. What is the data, guys? Previously it was 16 rows. After deleting one rows, it was 15 rows. Now I need to get the data back again, my 16 rows. So if I use rollback, so rollback completed. See the data now. It has to get 16 rows, right? If you roll back, I haven't used commit command here. Why data is not came that 16th 1002 row? Any idea? I haven't used commit command. If you give rollback, it should come, right? I haven't used.
Rollback gets the data from previous only, and we have inserted. I mean, we have created table now. It is DDL command. That's why it is not showing.
Yes,
Rollback
yes,
is not.
it's very good. See, previous commands in the sense, not only this command, it will be above commands also. Why it has committed the data? DDL command is having the functionality that it's a implicit commit. So whatever, whenever you use the DDL command, whatever transaction, for example, you have done 10 transaction, all transactions will be committed to the database because you used the implicit command, implicit commit command, DDL command. DDL command is having the functionality that it is having implicit commit. It is having implicit commit. So the above transaction 10 or 20 anything, if you have done update, delete or insert, all will be committed to the database. Even though you use rollback after the implicit commit DDL commands, you cannot get the data back because previously if you want to commit the database, you need to use the commit explicitly. But here we haven't used explicitly commit command because even though the data is committed to the database, because create is a DDL command which is having functionality that implicit commit. So whenever you use the DDL command, automatically that is having commit statement also, so automatically perform the commit. So after commit, if you perform rollback, you can't get the data back, right? Clear, guys? So that is for today's session. So we can discuss truncate is also used to delete all rows, right? So very most important question in interview: what is difference between truncate and delete? Truncate and delete. Delete also used to all rows, and truncate also used to delete all rows also. What is the difference for them? That we can discuss tomorrow. That is important interview question in every interview. That's all for today's session. I am ready to take up the questions now. If you feel this is somewhat fast, you can tell me. I feel that after doubts asked, after that I have went some fast because to cover the session.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Hello, Venkat.
Yes.
Yes, my name is
There is another concept called save point, right?
See, these all the things we can discuss in advanced concept. That is called TCL,
Okay.
transaction. Commit and rollback is the, and save point is the transaction commands.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes,
One
my name is
second.
Abdullah.
1 second, please. I understood. 1 second. See. Here, Commit is used to commit the transaction. Rollback is used to roll back the transaction, whatever you have done. Transaction in the sense, if you perform any insert one transaction, update one transaction, delete one transaction. So there is a save point also. For example, if you want to, for example, you have done first one transaction, second one transaction, third is one transaction. If you perform rollback here, all three transactions will get rollback, right? But I don't need to get all three transaction rollback. I need to commit this second transaction. I need to roll back first and three transaction. So it's not possible by using rollback, right? If you use rollback, all transactions will get rollback. So that concept is implemented by using save point. We can discuss in the advanced concept. Clear, right? What is the use of state point this? Now tell me your questions now. We can discuss save point in the advanced concept. Come again, Abdul.
Yes, sir. I just got added to the class today. Like
Yeah.
just today, I think I missed the previous classes. Is it possible, like, if there is a recording for
Yes,
previous
yes,
classes?
yes. Yes, definitely. I will give the recorded sessions. So whatever you missed for the previous class, those will be that will be given by you, given to you. 1 second, let me give you right away. Get shareable link.
Okay, sir.
Any questions? Other
Thank you,
questions?
sir.
Any other questions?
After I'll see the recordings, if I have any questions, I will write them down and I will let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, sure. You are from?
Thank you, sir. Morocco, sir.
Sorry,
Morocco.
I didn't get you.
I'm from Morocco.
Country name?
Morocco.
No, no, your country name I am asking.
Yeah, Venkat, he is from Morocco. Morocco నుంచి మాట్లాడుతున్నాడు.
Morocco country.
యా ఇది
Yes.
ఇక్కడ ఇట్స్ బిసైడ్ ఫ్రాన్స్.
France, okay.
No, it's in Africa.
ఫ్రాన్స్ పక్కన ఉంటుంది.
Africa, okay. Thank you. Is it understandable for
Yeah.
you? Whatever I am explaining you. Can you understand it?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, I can, sir.
Yeah, okay. This is class 2. So you can copy this all. This is class 3. All links. This is class 4. Any other questions, guys? I'm ready to take up.
One final question, Venkat.
Yeah, okay, fine. No worries.
I
Can
know
tell me.
that like we take like static values and dynamic values using single ampersand and double ampersand. So can we take a mix of both single and double in a single query? Is there any such option available?
Sir, I didn't get you. Tell me again. Come again.
So, for example, you used single ampersand for all the values. For example, student ID or employee ID or employee name, employee address or fees, whatever the values there, whatever the columns. For the columns, you mentioned single ampersand
Yes,
in
yes.
one query.
Yes,
And you have also taken up double ampersand in another query
yes.
to demonstrate, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, can we take a mix of both single and double as per our wish? Like for some values single ampersand, for some values double ampersand.
Yes, you can
In that
mix
way,
it.
can we execute?
Yes, we can execute
Yeah.
it. It's possible.
Yeah, in a single query.
Yes,
In
being a single query,
yeah.
you can execute. For example, for one column, you need to insert always static value. For 3000, you have to insert. For example, if you take a student fee, for fee is same for everyone, right? So you can take it
Yeah, that's right.
take it as a double ampersand for that 3000.
Yeah.
Every time it will
Yeah.
insert 3000 only.
Yeah, for example, some students belong to the same
Yes.
location in a school.
Yes.
And their city or district
Yes.
and mandal
Yes.
all the same.
Yes, you can
And
do it.
their names.
You can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions? If anyone is newly joined today, please go through the previous session. This one, guys. I pinged the classes here. Any other questions? I am ready to take up. Some two. I think I knew that two people are joined today. Who is Serifa and one more guy is Muhammad. Serifa and Muhammad. Do you have any questions? The
Yes,
tempo
sir.
is fine for you.
How many days will it last? I mean, the course SQL.
So yesterday we discussed, right? It will be
Yes,
35 days.
yes,
It may be extend another 5 days. 30 to
yes.
45 days. 40 days. Serifa and Muhammad, his tempo is fine for you. Did you understand the class? Or else do you want me to go somewhat slow?
No, don't need. This is better. We are getting easy.
Okay. Serifa, you? Hello?